Hi, thanks for joining me, and I have here Loz Netto. Now, Loz, thank you so much for joining me today here in Soho. You are the sort of person that people really should know about, but possibly don't. So let's get to that straight away. Started off as a session musician, I guess, or maybe playing with famous people as their musician, guitarist, or...
Well, the first proper job, pro job, was playing guitar for Benny King on tour. We were doing 2 shows a night up and down country.
Yeah.
So he was a great teacher.
Benny King.
Yeah, brilliant.
And Stand By Me. Yeah. You didn't play on that?
No, not on the record, but I played it every night, twice a night on tour.
Yeah.
Until I was sick of it.
Yeah.
But, and all the other hits he was associated with.
With the Drifters. I mean, I worked with Benny King once back in the 1970s, mid-70s. And when I met him and I shook his hand, all I could think of was, wow, you've written the song that John Lennon has just covered.
Oh, right, yeah.
And it just blew me away because it was like 1975, 76. He'd just come out with that rock and roll album, and Stand By Me was the actual single from the album. So right, So let's take it from there. So when were you with Benny King? What sort of period?
That would be early 70s, I suppose.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Because that was before he was out of a deal, and on the tour, reps from A&R, from CBS Records, who was still a record label at the time, came over from the States to talk Turkey. And it was after the tour he got a deal with CBS to release another album.
Wow!
So whatever year that was.
And you toured with him?
Yeah, I was his guitar player. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. His pickup band. Remember one night, we were doing one show, an afternoon show somewhere, probably in the Midlands, and about 4 people turned up.
Really?
4 people turned up.
Oh,
and the band were pretty disgruntled and not worth playing and all that sort of stuff, because we were really young, you know. I was.
Well, how must he have felt? He was a star.
Well, yeah, but he turned around on stage, very briefly, back to the audience, in between songs, and whispered, "Hey guys, if there's just one person come to see me, we'd put on a show, and we'd do it as well as if there were 300 people here or more."
Like with showbiz, the show must go on.
Yeah, absolute professional. You know, and there was loads of little lessons like that.
Yeah.
He taught us, if you don't get it together, I'm going to break your legs and stuff like that.
He's a serious person.
Yeah, he was.
Came up through definitely a tough period, that's for sure.
Yeah. Serious pro, though. Brilliant. Absolutely
brilliant. I know. And very highly regarded by the best. Now, the other thing I noticed was that you were actually signed by the guy who started Atlantic Records.
Ahmed Ertegun.
Yeah. What? That must have been such a wow for you.
Yeah,
you were signed by you were signed by this guy in, was it 75?
No, that was
later than that.
That was 80.
The mid 80s, yeah.
Which is that album?
That's right. Which album? This
one.
That one.
Yeah. That's it.
Okay.
Atlantic.
Oh, that's the Atlantic Records album that Ahmed actually signed you for. Brilliant. And this came out in 1986.
86. Yeah.
Yeah. Now, to be signed by that guy to that label, Atlantic Records in the US, must have meant so much to you.
I was thrilled, absolutely.
And you were suddenly a star, I suppose, weren't you then, or at least you were treated like one, I would think.
Yeah, I've been treated like a star many times, and I've actually I've been accused of thinking that I'm a star and what have you. But the fact of the matter is, I'm a working musician.
Yeah.
Always have been.
Yeah, but you suddenly came out of the back and into the front.
Yeah.
And you were the man suddenly.
Yeah.
Well, and I guess you had your own band.
No, not at that time. No, it's the deal before, which was with 21 Records, which was a subsidiary of Polygram. That was 1982, I think. And I had a band then, but they decided we did the album at Air Studios when it was at Oxford Circus with Colin Thurston, who was Duran Duran's producer at the time. and Renata was the engineer who was the girl who married Elton John.
Oh yes.
And she was brilliant engineer. And I remember one afternoon, McCartney was doing an album in one of the other rooms.
Yeah,
George Martin.
Yeah.
And one afternoon he just wandered in to have a
Fantastic.
listen to one of the tracks. And he was brilliant, really nice guy.
Lovely
I
guy.
was just speechless.
Lovely. I know.
Absolute sweetheart.
He didn't say, do you want to do backing vocals? Do you want any acoustic guitar on this one? I could do a bit of a Blackbird for you. Or something.
He might have, but I probably didn't hear. I don't know. No. It was very complimentary.
You walked in my life, you gave me an invitation, then into the night. Hey, where we going to? A change in the wind. I never met a woman, I never met anyone like you. So what do we do in this situation? Just you and me. All the lights gone out. Talk to me now. 'Cause I never met a woman, I never met anyone like you. We touch when we need someone. We touch like a reflection. We touch. Tell me what you feel. Tell me what you feel. When we're only one kiss.
Let's get back to this. Now, being signed by this giant who loved Led Zeppelin and who loved the Stones. I mean, you're in the care of someone who's signed the biggest people in the world, and not only that, the biggest people in the world wanted to sign with him and Atlantic Records because of his output. Absolutely. With all that soul stuff, the Stax stuff.
Yeah, Aretha.
Aretha and all the other people, Sam and Dave. And
of course he had producers like Arif Mardin, who was also Turkish.
Yeah.
Who was a genius.
Yeah.
A genius producer.
Yeah. And did you ever go to Muscle Shoals, Alabama at all? Or?
No, I went to Manchester.
Oh, okay.
Instead.
All right, but weren't they connected with that studio in some way? I think they were.
Well, not the Manchester studio, no, but
no, I mean the General Atlantic.
Atlantic, I believe they were.
Yeah.
I believe they were.
Yeah.
At the time, because I did do the up at a place called Revolution Studios, which is now defunct. That closed down in September 2011, which is a shame.
Yeah.
And I had a falling out with my producer at the time, John Astley, who was also signed to Atlantic, and there was a conflict of interest because he wanted to scrap my album and do his album.
Yeah.
So I fired him.
Yeah.
Which
You're
didn't
a
go
hard
down.
man.
Well, it was just practicalities, I wasn't going to shelve my album.
Do you have any trouble firing people? I hate it.
Yeah, I do, but I don't. What I hate more than anything is, shall we say, blackmail or being told.
I see,
and it was getting that sort of way, and so there were unfortunately internal wranglings within the company as well because his manager. It was like half of the company came down on his manager's side and half on my manager's side.
Yeah.
So I went ahead and did the album with the engineer, who was Andy McPherson. Legendary Andy McPherson, who's like remastered all the Who's back catalogue and worked with Zeppelin and
You're
just
in good hands.
everybody.
You're in good hands.
He was amazing, tough taskmaster, a bit like a bulldog when you first meet him. Cheers, Andy.
No, serious people,
But,
I mean, the Who was surrounded, and so was Zeppelin, surrounded, and the Stones surrounded by serious people.
Absolutely.
Who you did not want to mess with.
No, but top of the field,
Yeah.
And Andy became, and still is, a lifelong friend. I gave him a big cup, engraved cup at the end of the album, which said Rocky McPherson.
Oh, lovely.
Which he's still got, I know.
Yeah.
So he did a cracking album, so I was really, really lucky to work with him. And loads of other great guys.
You've written a lot of songs for a lot of famous people, haven't you?
A few people, yeah. Chaka Khan being one of them.
Which one did you write for her?
It's off my first album, which is a track called Slow Dancing.
Did you write it for her, or did she cover it?
She covered it.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Well, that's even more of a compliment, isn't it?
Yeah, well, she did it with as a duet with Rick James.
Huh.
So
I hate to bring the material world into perspective here, but man, you must have got a nice paycheck for that.
yeah, I'm still getting royalties
That's
from
what
that.
I
Yeah.
figured. That's what I
Yeah,
figured.
yeah, it helps. Yeah.
Yeah. So who else?
That got a lot of coverage, that one. That was also covered by, oh Christ, I forgot his name, guy from the James Gang.
Okay.
And
Joe Walsh?
Joe Walsh.
Really?
covered it, yeah. I talked to
Rocky
him.
Mountain Way.
Yeah, absolutely.
The
yeah,
man.
James Gang, yeah, love that. Love
So
that
the
band.
Eagles are going to cover it on their next album at all? No,
I doubt it. Yeah.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, Joe got me to write another verse.
Yeah.
It
Did he?
It wasn't long enough for him. Yeah, I talked to him in L.A.
Oh,
When
fantastic.
he was actually
And which
recording
album
it.
is this on? Is it on any of them?
The Confessor.
On your albums? Or?
Oh, my first album, which is the album's called Loz Netto's Bizarre.
Okay.
BZ.
Have I got that here?
No, but I can send you a copy.
Well, listen, I've got a nice collection here, as you can see, but I do want.
Oh, they might.
I think there's
Oh,
loads
that's
of.
that one.
Oh, it's that
Yeah,
one.
I didn't realise you had
It's
it.
that one.
Yeah.
So this one's the one with the Joe Walsh song,
Yeah.
the one that Joe Walsh
Yeah,
covered.
Yeah.
And which album is it from Walsh that it's on? Do
The
you know?
Confessor.
The Confessor.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
And anyone else? Because this is enthralling.
Recently, there's a guy. What's his name? Paul Innes or something like that. His I think he's Dutch.
Yeah.
He's got a great voice, and he emailed me and wanted to know if he could do a cover version of it
Wow.
with a girl singer. And he sent me some of the stuff he'd been doing on his own with a sort of collective of
Yeah.
sort of soul R&B
Yeah.
musos and singers, and it was really right up there. It was like some of the best stuff I'd heard in years.
So how do these people find you? Do you have an agent? Is that what it is?
No.
Well, how do they find
They
you?
go through my website.
Do they?
track me down on my website.
Well, that's excellent.
Yeah. I get
Well, man,
Quite
you
a lot of
don't need a book,
correspondence.
do you? You've got all this going on.
my basic biog is on the website anyway.
Yeah.
I've been told I should do a biog at some point, but I've still got a few.
I think you
few
should.
more. I will at some point, but I think there's still a few more cock-ups to go yet. that I
No,
need
they're
to
not
write about,
cock-ups.
you know.
No. I can see it as a strategy that's planned and all going according to plan. That's what I can see.
Well, I've started putting a few notes down. Put it that way.
Yeah. So are you in the studio at the moment?
Yeah.
And you got a new studio album coming out?
No, I'm thinking about it. There was a time I
You've
used
got
to
a
do-
live one out now, haven't you?
Yeah.
This is a live one.
Yes.
And this is currently out at the moment.
Yeah, it is. I wanted to get away from. I'd never done a live album, and it was like 2 takes at the most, and that's it.
No messing around the studio
No,
afterwards?
no trickery.
So this is
whatsoever.
you live?
Absolutely live. With
And
great
you
bass.
have a band?
Yeah, great bass player, great drummer. Rob Kenny on drums is
Yeah.
fantastic, and he's a good friend, and also my good friend Nigel Bull on bass, who's brilliant, just absolutely brilliant. And it's just a 3-piece, but that's all you need.
Yeah.
Somewhere out in the city, on blues swing straight, kind of pretty. Across town, it's a silent scream. Watch I say, but stop believing she's wild.
So what's right now for Loz Netto?
Well, I've done the live album, so I don't intend to do another live album, although there's a few things that didn't get on that, so I might just do an EP or something, just to mop up.
Are you going to send it to me? Because you know I'll play it.
Of course I will.
You know I'll play it.
Okay, good.
All right.
But other than that, I'm looking at formulating an idea at the moment. I've already got some sketches. I got a fan of mine from the States emailed me saying, have you ever thought of doing covers of your own songs? I said, no, I haven't.
Do you mean the ones you've written for other people?
No, just covering my own material, but like in acoustic way.
I see. It's sort of an unplugged.
Yeah, I wouldn't, I don't really like just like picking up and just knocking out a few chords. It's not my sort of thing. But I was thinking about it the other week, and I thought, well, what if we sort of really just pull them apart and reconstruct them?
Yeah.
So I just had to go on one song from the first album, the Bizarre album, a thing called Just a Game, which was very synth orientated, and I just started putting these really strange chords around them, and it just sort of took off, and I thought that could be interesting.
Yeah, it could be. It's not like the Black Crowes' Crowology. It's not like them doing, rocking hits in an acoustic manner. No, it's actually more, changing the music. And,
it'd be more esoteric than that.
Okay.
It'd be more going like the Norah Jones' first album, sort of laid back sort of thing, but with who can I think of? What's that guitar player's name? He used to use all those different weird tunings. He's dead now.
There's loads of them. I don't know where to start.
Yeah, but
we recently lost Alvin Lee.
No,
we've lost John Martin. We've lost,
bit like the Solid. Was it
Solid Air?
A bit like that.
I thought you were going down.
Yeah. A little bit jazzy, but different.
Yeah.
I can't put my finger on it. I don't think anybody's sort of gone the route I want to go with.
Yeah, sure. I know. I felt you were going down the John Martin way. This is why I brought him up. But that's interesting.
That could be fun. Yeah. And that'd be sort of semi-studio and semi-live, because it'd be like I'd mic up the acoustics and use a lot of. All the drums would be live.
Okay.
In my studio, because I've got a studio in the attic.
Based in Brighton, I understand.
Yeah.
There's a lot of talent in Brighton these days.
There is, yeah. There's lots of artists.
You got a neighbour called Nick Cave, haven't you?
I have, yeah. Strange thing, I bumped into an old mate of mine from 30 odd years ago.
Yeah.
Last year, a guy called Matt Irving. He was an old friend of mine, Glaswegian guy, a keyboard player. Worked with everybody in the past. He's currently working with Paul Young with Los Pacaminos. I used to be with Manfred Mann and just loads. He did loads of sessions, and I worked with him in a pickup band. We were Eddie Holman's backing band. Okay. Hey There, Lonely Girl.
Yeah.
He came over, and that's where I met these two guys, Matt and his brother, Jackie.
Yeah.
And then we were in contact a little bit after the tour, and then we lost contact for 30 odd years. Yeah. I saw this guy walking around town with his lady on a couple of occasions. I thought, I know that face.
Yeah.
No, it can't be. On the third occasion, I plucked up the courage and went up to him. I said, Matt Irving. And he stopped.
Yeah.
I said something like, I got no money.
I
thought I was a beggar. I said, no, it's all right. And it's Loz Netto. Said, who?
Yeah.
I said,
it's always difficult, isn't it?
Yeah. And then it clicked, and we've sort of bonded again, and we sort of go out and have dinner and
fantastic
theatre and whatever. Yeah. So that was brilliant. Catching up with them after all these years. Yeah.
Well, I can't wait to hear your new stuff. I can't wait to play it on the air.
Thank you.
Loz Netto, may your career continue for a long, long time, and may you write many more songs for more superstars around the world and make a packet of money. Okay, so
thank you very much for that. I'll try my best.
You've been watching Loz Netto with me, Peter Antony, or hear his tracks on my show Saturday morning 9 till noon at Radio Caroline. And the best way to get you on there is go to the website, all the W's, radiocaroline.co.uk. And it has been a Mojo Delta production in association with Boostar. Thank you for watching.
Cool.
Great.